Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. And if you're new here, I'm Carlotta, and this is my channel, Frank and Beans Books, where I talk about books, obviously. I do reviews, reading vlogs, hauls, you know, the general bookish things. But today, since I am very new to BookTube and book Instagram and stuff, I thought I would do the Newbie BookTuber tag. So I just started my YouTube, so I don't have any fancy equipment, so I'm recording on my phone. So I'm going to bring up the questions on my computer. So it's right here. So if I'm looking down, I'm looking at the questions. Okay, the first question is, why did you start this channel? So as we all know, we are currently in a world pandemic, and during this pandemic I have read quite a few books, and I wanted a place to be able to talk about them, to talk about what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them, ones I want to keep reading or reread, or series I want to continue with, or like ones I don't. And like I wanted other people's suggestions and opinions on the similar books, and just to be able to express my love of books. So that's the main reason I started the channel. I also have a little bit of extra time on my hands, so I thought might as well get a little creative, make a YouTube channel, make an Instagram. I will link those here as well as in the description bar below, my Instagram and Goodreads. I also have a Twitter. I don't tweet very often. I'm not good at Twitter. I'm trying though, okay? So anyway, that's question one. Question two, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? Well, I mean, I think, and this is going to be kind of a cheesy and corny answer, but I think anyone who wants to start a BookTube or a new channel can bring something new, just because everybody is different and every personality is different. So their different personality, mine, somebody else's, will bring a different perspective to a book that people already talk about, or will just like, everyone's unique, so they'll bring something new, hopefully. I don't necessarily have like a niche, like specific genre I love to read, or I mean, I'm a huge Disney fan, huge Harry Potter fan, but so are a lot of other people. But I mean, hopefully you guys like what I put out, and if you guys do, please subscribe. I hope to put out videos every like twice a week is my goal, so we'll see if that keeps up once I start my job in August as working at a school. But anyway, I'm sure I'll be able to keep it up, and I'm excited too, so I hope I'm unique enough to bring different things to BookTube. Number three, what are you most excited about for this new channel? Just like creating relationships within the BookTube community, finding new books I want to read, and seeing other people's passions in different books that I read or didn't like, or just like making relationships, talking about books. I love books. But yeah, I guess those are the main things. And it's also just another creative output I can find myself to do with. If you do hear a noise, it is Frankie of Frank and Beans Books. She's sitting right here. So if you hear like noise, that's why. But yeah, I'm just excited to see where this adventure takes me, what other books I discover, hopefully friends I discover through the BookTube community. Okay, 4, why do you love reading? So I've always been a reader, more so out of the rest of my family, although not to the extent of like other people, but I loved graphic novels growing up. I loved the idea of like reading while seeing pictures. But then as like I grew older, I did really love reading and like just immersing myself into a different world and finding those characters relatable, and that I wasn't alone in different scenarios that I felt was so unique to me, and there's no one else going through this. But I found characters through books that I felt I related to, and I really enjoyed that. And then just discovering different worlds that authors build in their books, I thought was like so amazing. So that's why I love reading. Or yeah, why do I love reading? Yeah, I think it's so cool. It's also like a great educational like side to it, especially now with a lot of the different things going on in the world. Reading a book can bring a lot of knowledge that you might not want to talk about publicly, and just immersing yourself in like different topics and educating yourself in those things. Number 5, what book or series got you into reading? Definitely Harry Potter. I have all of my original Harry Potter right here. So definitely Harry Potter. I mean, that world meant so much to me growing up, still does. You're currently sitting on a bunch of like Pop Funkos, which I have like up further, but a bunch of my Harry Potter ones here, like I'll show you, but I just have a bunch, and that world meant so much to me. It was probably the first series I read. I also loved graphic novels. I have like a whole series of graphic novels here that I just fell in love with. And this is Bone by Jeff Smith, in case anybody's wondering. All of these right here. I read those probably in middle school, but to this day, I love them so much. And so those are probably the 2 main series that got me into reading and like wanting to discover more. Also recently, a book, this was probably about a year or 2 ago, a book that like really kicked off my reading as like more of an adult, was The Night Circus. It's up here, it's the black and red one, by Erin Morgenstern. That book, the world building, the mystic and magic in that book just like was like breathtaking, and I just loved that it like really wanted me to seek out similar stories and similar like worlds, because I just loved it so much. Okay, 6, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Well, I love Ariel, I love Noelle, I love Kat from Paperback Dreams, I believe it is. I love them. They're like what I aspire to be one day. But anyway, like as a YouTuber. But I would probably ask them if they could read one book or series for the rest of their life, what would it be and like why? If they could live in like one world, which one would it be? Like, yeah, like a world in terms of like one an author has like come up with. Those would probably, or if, so rude, go away, motorcycle, goodbye. Anyway, the next question I would probably ask is, if they could have one author of their choice to write a book about them, what author would it be? I think that's a really like different question that I don't think is asked often, or maybe I made it up, maybe I'm just that unique, and probably not, but I think that would be a really cool answer, because I feel like it would tell a lot about the person. Like choosing an author to write a book about them or a story on their life would be really cool. 7, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I mean, with any YouTube channel, I feel like the hardest thing is just keeping motivated and not dwelling on the fact that you have 10 subscribers or that your last video only got 20 views. That shouldn't be the point of like starting a channel. It shouldn't be to become famous or like this big influencer, although that would be like super cool and fun. I think the purpose of starting a channel is to really like express your passion and just like find similar people within that passion and just like communicating and creating relationships. So I do think the hardest part will be overlooking the numbers and analytics of a YouTube channel and just like reminding yourself why you started it, and that like you started it because you're passionate about books and not the things that may come with the YouTube channel for the very few that it do for. Okay, so there's 3 more questions. When did you start reading is number 8. I mean, when I was a kid, I don't know like the age. Probably when most people start reading, I assume, but I'd say probably around 6 or 7 did I really get into books. I mean, I'm 25, so I was born in 1994, and the Harry Potter books started coming out when I was like really little, so I didn't get those until like a little bit later. I think the first book came out in 1998. Let's find out. Yep, 1998. So I was 4. So I didn't the Harry Potter craze as soon as it hit off, just because I was too young. But I'd probably say around the typical age of like people reading. I probably didn't get into like the passion of reading until I was probably in middle school, where I discovered like graphic novels, and like I really loved Ellen Hopkins when I was in like high school and middle school. So I have a bunch of her books that I probably really enjoyed and kicked off my reading. Number 9, where do you read? I tend to read a lot in bed, at night, during the day. I like reading outside. In my backyard, we have like a little camo, it's like a rocking thing. I don't know what it's called, but it has a little shade and it's nice to read out there. If I had the choice of reading anywhere, it'd probably be by a beach. In shade though, because then it's too bright. You gotta have shade to read an actual book. Unless it's like one of those special like pretty Kindles that are like the paper Kindles, you know what I'm talking about? Anyway, to the beach, or if you were like in mountains with like a gorgeous view of like mountains. Could you imagine? That would be cool. But I mean, I read in bed because I'm just a person who has books. Nothing special. So yeah. Last and final question. What kind of books do you like to read? So, that's a hard question, only because I love reading all kinds of books except for sci-fi, like science fiction. Isn't my, like, I don't tend to walk down that aisle in a bookstore. Nothing against it. It's just not my cup of tea. Those type of worlds don't like really gel with my vibe, if you know what I'm saying. I do love YA fantasy, contemporary, YA fiction. I don't know. I just love, basically I love like thrillers, mystery, horror, almost anything except for sci-fi. And dystopian novels, I'm not huge on like dystopian novels. Not that that's necessarily a genre. I feel like that falls into a little bit of a sci-fi aspect. I'm not huge on like aliens or like technology. No, I'm huge on like magic, like mystical, like witches, vampires, but also like romance. Love a good romance. But yeah, so that's the Newbie BookTuber tag. I'll quickly answer just some questions personally about me. My name's Carlotta. I'm 25. I'm currently a grad student, working on my Master's of Science towards Behavior Analysis and Therapy. So that's exciting. Currently work at a school. Well, not currently. I mean, it's summer. But in August, we'll be back at working at a school. I am Bean in the title, Frank and Beans. It's a nickname my dad has given me since I was little. I'm half Hispanic, half, my mom's like British. So like, yeah. Frankie, my dog. Franks, come here. Come here. She'll making a little appearance. Come here. So this is the Franks of Frank and Beans. Right? Right? I just woke her up, so she's a little sleepy. But those are just some general questions. If you guys have more, please leave them down in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer any personal questions. You guys want to get to know me more, I'd love it. But other than that, that is the tag. Right, Franks? That's the tag. And that's all I got. So, like I said, leave a comment in the thingy down below. Subscribe, like, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.